Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by for your July tarot forecast, or tarot insights, I should say. What I'm going to be looking at is not a comprehensive look at your month at all. This is going to be covering one theme that shows up during your month at some point. It may have to do with love, it may have to do with family, it may have to do with work, it may have to do with your home. It can be anywhere. I basically have given free rein to Sacred Spirit. We're going to talk about whatever it is that Sacred Spirit wants to bring up for each sign. So it's whatever is most important for you guys to hear about. I know that disappoints some of you because you just want those love readings, but sometimes there are other things that are important too. So, what I'm actually going to be looking at in these monthlies is one particular life cycle that shows up for you sometime in the month of July. And a life cycle, what do you need to know about that? A life cycle is something that we all go through, and the purpose of it is to teach us something or to let us experience something either new or at a new level than before. So life cycle gives us a new lesson or new experience, and we have the setup of the life cycle, then we have the lesson or the experience, and then we have the fulfillment or the ending of the life cycle. The fulfillment is what happens as we integrate that lesson or experience into our lives, and that'll be more at the end of the reading. That'll be like the last 3 cards that I talk about. Before that is the setup, and then in between is the actual lesson or experience. How long is a life cycle is something that I hear a lot. Life cycles really, as far as timing, depend on you and how quickly you embrace or how much you resist the lesson or experience that you're being set up for. So, completely up to you. I've seen life cycles last as short as 20 minutes, although that's pretty rare usually. And I've seen them go on for years and years and years. So like I said, it really depends on you and how willing you are to embrace the lesson or how much you're resisting that lesson or experience. Okay, so thank you once again, everybody, for stopping by, for hanging out. I do appreciate it. Now you know what you're getting into. On with your reading. Hello there, Cancers. Let's just jump right into your reading now. The first thing that I'm looking at is talking about your environment. An environment can be any place where you have energy or effort invested. So this usually comes up as home, but I have also seen it come up as school or as work before. So what we have coming up for your environment is that there's been some new rules that have been announced in your environment lately. And right now, you're kind of waiting to see if those new rules are going to stick or if they're not going to stick. The next card that comes up talks to me about your subconscious leanings. What I have for you guys, Cancers, it looks to me like this has to do with duty or responsibility, or your sense of duty or responsibility. And it feels to me like you're in your subconscious, you're trying to work out, okay, what is really my duty in some certain situation? What am I actually obligated to do here? And at what point am I free from any obligation? The next thing that I'm looking at talks about 2 different things. It actually talks about your learning style and also your communication style. Learning style. So what you're interested in, especially as it's in regard to this particular life cycle, I see you as being very passionate about learning new information, building on what you already know, very excited about any new information that comes in. As far as communication style, I feel like you may be being kind of cold and stony. So you are communicating, but I'm feeling like there could be a lot of sarcasm for a lot of you Cancers that's coming out, especially as it comes to this particular life cycle. Cold and stony sarcasm. Okay, so the next thing that I'm looking at is work. And for me, you guys probably know if you've watched me before, work is a little different. This can be the way that you're making a living. This can also be the things that you're doing to improve your own inner character. Okay, so what we have here coming up for work is if this is how you're making your living, I see this as being something very creative. I see it as being something that is your own idea, your own agenda, maybe even your own business, and it's something that you really enjoy. When you wake up, just wake up and you go, "Yay, I get to go do whatever your work is." Okay, now if this is working on the inner child, this is really talking about allowing yourself to be happy. That seems like a strange thing, doesn't it? But just kind of think about it. There's a lot of people that aren't happy, and that if they start to get happy, it's almost like they duck their head back under cover because they think something bad is going to happen if they get too happy. So this, if you're working on your inner self, this is about letting yourself, giving yourself permission to be happy and actually actively following your happiness, doing those things that make you happy. All right, the next card that we have does talk to me about that part of you that's being grown or expanded right now. This is so interesting. What is this? Grown or expanded? I feel like you are really learning, Cancers, how to make things work with resources that they don't seem like they're enough, and yet you're able to take them and use them and do what you need to do with them. So this is really learning about how to make your resources go farther. That's what you're actually learning right now. As far as things that you stand up for, okay, so Cancers, I feel like right now you're lonely. You're missing somebody, or you're homesick and you're missing something, but there's something going on where you're missing something. And I think people have given you a hard time about it. Maybe you just got done, got out of a relationship with somebody who didn't treat you so well, and you missed that person anyway because you were comfortable with them. And other people are giving you a hard time. How can you miss somebody who acted like that? Man, 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 man. And you're having to say, you know what? I don't know how, but I do. Back off. I don't know if it's that exact scenario, but it's something like that. It's something where you're missing somebody and people are giving you a hard time about what you're missing. I know I went through that whenever I lost my significant other. I was grieving and I was missing him. And I had somebody at 3 weeks ask me, "You're not over that yet?" No, I'm not. So you guys could be in a similar situation to that, but those are just a couple of examples of things that could be going on there. All right, so next thing that comes up is how other people perceive you. Right now, other people perceive you as being in a situation where you're not very happy with the way things are set up for your home life, and you're not very happy with how things are going in your family. That's kind of the perception that people have about you when they think about you right now. Now, next we're looking at that lesson or experience for this life cycle. And what we have coming up here is you really feeling jaded about relationships, and I feel like this is about relationships in general. It could be about a romantic relationship too for some of you, but mostly I feel like this is kind of feeling like, oh, I really used to trust people more than I do now, and now I'm just like, we'll see. The proof is in the pudding. So they're saying some really great stuff. We'll see what happens, and kind of even though you're saying we'll see what happens, that's really not what you're thinking. What you're thinking is, no way this is going to happen. You're just kind of saying we'll see to sort of soften what you're actually thinking there. So that's the lesson or the experience. And then as you integrate that lesson or experience into your life, that really does sort of, I think it brings an end to something. We have what I consider a defeat showing up here. And to me, seeing this and seeing this pessimism is kind of like saying, okay, maybe this relationship wasn't going to go anywhere, or maybe it was, but the pessimism was definitely something that dragged it down to its death. So that could be with a relationship. Maybe this person that you're missing, if it is a person, maybe they try to come back and you're just like, you know what? Yeah, I miss you, but you were just really horrible to me. And no. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there, but there's some kind of situation where things just aren't working out very well. But at the same time, you have a couple of really good things going on as fulfillment of this life cycle. One of those is that it feels like you've sort of taken the limits off of yourself. You've sort of set yourself free in some certain way. And so you're starting to realize that you have the whole world in front of you and you have choices about what you want to do and how you want to do it. Not only with just your relaxation time, but even with your work time, with your personal time, with it all. You have choices and you're starting to allow yourself to make those choices. And you're starting to allow some of those choices to lean back towards happiness. Kind of comes back to something we saw earlier about your work. You're starting to make some of those choices that lean towards your happiness. Ultimate fulfillment of this life cycle, or ultimate, as you've integrated this lesson or experience, ultimately what we have is a good partnership showing up for you. And this is something that you have to make a decision about. Is this partnership really going to be something that I want to be a part of or not? And so this can be on a romantic level. This can also be a work partnership, or this could be a good friendship. But this is something coming up where you're definitely merging resources with another person to make something go forward. Okay, so that is your July Insights, Cancers. Thank you so much for stopping by, hanging out, liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. I do appreciate all of your support. Everyone have a fantastic month, and I'll see you back here the next time. Peace out.